Hey guys, and welcome back to another tutorial with me, Phil Hope. Today we're looking at ring archers, ice cream makers and bar inverted rows. So we're just starting off here with a warm up, and what we're getting the guys to do is starting off on the floor. It's a little bit like a hollow lean, a hollow forward lean, not so much a planche lean, but seeing if they can find that hollow position on the floor and just get a little bit of a lean, pushing through their scaps, trying to protract the scaps around, push away from the back whilst keeping the bum down nice and flat, and that'll have some nice carryover to when we come onto the rings later on. So just seeing if they can get into those positions now. On the floor, where there's no rings, there's no instability. Moving on from there, seeing if they can get into that hollow position and perform a push up there. Obviously, as we're going through, we're going to be protracted here with the scapula, meaning the scaps are going to be pushed out, and as we come down they will retract a little bit at the bottom, meaning they'll squeeze back at the back. But what we're looking for is to get that full range of motion, that as we press through we're not just staying retracted at the top, we're really pushing, bringing those scaps round at the top. And on top of that, just seeing if the guys can do, take all technicalities aside, can they do a push-up? Can they do a press-up in that position on the floor? Just going around there, just cueing the guys, making sure that they're in the right positions, they can feel what they need to be feeling. Feet together, forward lean a little bit, keeping the elbows in nice and tight as we come down through the push-up. Just explaining there on the rings that where we need to be when we're coming out into the ring archer push-ups. Again, as we come down, that we're not so retracted like this and we're pushing out here and the shoulders in a bit of a bad position. We want that shoulder sitting back nice and tight so that when we come onto the rings it'll move nicely. It's a nice strong position. It's quite tough to see there at that angle. What we're actually doing is the archer push-up now, okay? So what that is one arm's out to the side, completely flat on the floor, and the other presses in, and we're pushing through the floor to bring ourselves up. So we can see here now with Becky just spotting her arm there. What we don't want at any point here is a bend in the elbow. So as we're pushing through, we don't want to be bending at the elbow and pushing and using like bicep and using the things we don't want to be using. We want to be really working on that straight arm strength, getting that lat firing and pushing through with a nice locked out arm. As soon as the elbow bends, we lose purpose of the movement. And this is quite tough. This is tough, this is hard. We can scale it back, you can come down to your knees, you can start off lying flat like I am there, you can start flat, get your arm locked out, get your other arm in ready to press, and you can start from there, push through, see if you can do that. And again, you can come to your knees if you need to, up to the knees, press through. Again, just challenging it now on the floor where there's no instability, and that's what we want to figure out where everyone's at. So you can see we're just looking around, seeing who can do that, who's got that strong position, who can't do that, and where that might be an issue later. When we come to the rings, you can scale the position more upright, so you're not completely horizontal here and you're trying to do it here like lying flat. You can just bring it up like you would a ring row, bring it up, and you can scale the movement by load. So rather than making someone try and do it there and just be like, no, that's not happening, you can't do this, bring it upright and you can scale it by the load there. And we just do a few more rounds of that, a couple more rounds of that, see if we start seeing anything when we're under fatigue, see if there's anything that's happening, see if they can just get in those positions again. So from there we've moved on to the rings, and here you can see Steve having a go. So he's in an okay position, you know, he's pushing away, his arms are locked out as he's coming down. We're not going straight into the archer and pushing up. What we're doing a bit more of a ring in and out really. So we're coming down into that push-up position, getting locked in nice and tight, and then taking an arm out from there, take the other arm out, press out, come back down, and just see if they can control those positions there before we then come into pushing ourselves back in. See there, just trying to spot Steve. Just if you see them struggling or they're not understanding what you're asking of them, get in, get hands on with them. It's the best way with these types of movements. Get tactile with them, push them into position. Where do they need to be? Are they arching like this? Do they need to be a bit more in that hollow position? And then just jumping in from there, just demonstrating going straight into the archer position. So your first option is to come down to the bottom, take the arms out to the side, press out. From there, see if we can go straight into the archer, push up from there. So Becky's jumping in here, looking not very confident, even though Becky's like ace at all these things usually. Jumps in there. So we see there straight away, bending the elbow, bit of instability. Left arm looking a bit better there on that side, pushing in with a nice straight arm. Right arm coming in, much better on that one actually. Again, as we're coming down, we're looking for that nice locked out elbow, and you can get in behind them and give them a little flick on their elbow, or if they are here, just give them a push. Get that arm nice and locked out. Again, like I said before, previously on the floor, as soon as we bend at the elbow, it becomes more like a bicep movement and pec, whereas we really want to work on straight arm strength, squeezing our weight back in from there. And this is going to have great carryover to things, straight arm movements, and things like toes to bar, your kipping pull-ups, muscle-ups. You can see with Kat there, jumping in. She's probably at too tough of an angle to perform the movement there. So what we can do is get her to move in, move her feet in, bring her weight a little bit more upright so there's less load on the arm. And again, like we say, just jump in, spot them, get in, one arm underneath. Make sure that their abs are on nice and tight. Usually if you touch someone around their core, they'll squeeze on straight away. It's a good tactile cue, and you can just help them move through that range of motion. Can't be shy with these movements. What's the alternative? Get in and spot someone, or let them do it wrong, or let them hurt themselves. Don't be shy with it, guys. Get hands-on if you need to. So here again, we've got Steve jumping on. He's had a couple of goes now, so he's kind of understanding where he needs to be, what he needs to be feeling. As he comes down, that's not a bad position really. Elbows tracking in nice. Right arm's a little more bent than the left one. The left arm was quite good, you see there, left arm pushes in, quite straight. Just move him in a little bit. I think like for his right arm, that was just a bit too difficult. Just reinforcing again, getting in, keep that elbow locked out. So you see there, just coming in behind and just pushing on that elbow and just ensuring that he's feeling that and he's getting everything that he needs to get from this exercise. Like I say, it's pointless. Just if there's a bend, it's just not what we're asking him to do. It's pointless. Scale it to a position that you can do. Left arm's better than his right one with Steve. You can see that there. You might see that happen. In that case, going to get in and just give him a little spot when he's on that side. Get the hands on. Again, still a little slight bend, so he's just going to have to keep working on that, even with that arm underneath, spotting him back up. Still a slight little bend. So for that, the only thing you can do really is just keep going, keep going, keep going until you're a bit more upright and you can be in that nice controlled position where you can keep that arm locked out. We got Danny jumping on here. Not too sure about position, so just saying step it up a little bit, come up a bit further, a little bit further. We've seen a few of her previous sets and was struggling to keep that arm locked out and straight, so I just wanted her to be a little bit more upright. She's been suffering with some elbow problems as well, so you could see that carrying over in one of these movements. But all in all, not bad position to be fair. Arm nice and locked out, keeping that elbow in nice and tight on this side. On that, the arm that is coming in nice and close, we still want that to be doing some work. What we don't want is for the ring to be in here and the strap just wrapped around your arm and you're just basically resting, you're just lying on the strap. You've used the strap to stabilize your body, the position that you're in, and then you're just coming out here like this and you're kind of just holding your full body weight with the ring or the strap. What we want is the ring here and you're actively pushing into the ring and the strap's just going off to the side, so you're not wrapping yourself up in the strap and then making the movement easier. You're keeping the ring out here, nice and tight, pushing into that ring, to stabilize your body, squeezing your abs on, and then that arm will go out. And that's a common one, you see that quite a lot, and you'll see that with ring dips and ring push-ups as well. People bringing the straps in nice and close and then really wrapping them around so the straps are coming in here, turned in. You're taking the stability away from the rings, and the reason for being on the rings is that you're training on an unstable piece of equipment. What you're looking for is to use that, like you're using the equipment, the unstable equipment, to train harder, to train better, to train stability on unstable equipment. So if you're stabilizing the equipment, you're losing the point. So bear that in mind when you're doing your ring push-ups, your ring dips, anything on the rings that you're not squeezing the straps in and taking the stability away. And then moving on to the ice cream makers, ice cream scoops, whatever you want to call them. There's a few reasons why they believe they're called that, but for me, what I've heard is that you're kind of scooping your body into that nice straight arm locked out position, and it's a good scale for, not a scale, it's a progression for building up to a front lever, and again, just building on some nice straight arm strength, good for your muscle ups, toes to bars, kipping, pull-ups, all that stuff, okay? So idea being, we jump onto the rig. From there, you're gonna need to start above the bar, so you need to be able to really be able to do a pull-up. You can jump up, but if you're lacking strength in that position, as soon as you try and bring yourself into that tucked position, or the further progressions where there's one leg out or both legs are out and you're essentially holding a front lever for a second, if you're struggling just to get your chin over the bar, you're really going to struggle with these movements. It's probably a bit more of a intermediate type movement rather than beginner. It's certainly not advanced, but it's not easy. So you're jumping up, chin over the bar. From there, you're going to push yourself backwards, away, ending up with straight arms. Your first position is a tucked position. So what we're looking for is the knees to be tucked up into your chest as you come back. You're getting into a nice straight position from your shoulders to your hips, and then you're pulling yourself back over the bar, bringing your chin back over the bar. If you are lacking strength in that upper position, what will happen is you'll jump up, and then as you push away, you'll not get into that position at the back. You'll kind of just drop straight down, and then there's no way you're ever gonna get yourself back up. So if you're struggling with that, there's a couple of options we can do, and I'll show you that in a moment. There's a band, and then there's obviously being spotted, but essentially you might just not be strong enough to do this one as of yet, and we do see that with Steve here. Here we've got Becky jumping on. Not bad couple of reps on her own there, to be fair, you know, chin over, getting there, nice straight arms, hips are up nice and high, and then start struggling, jump in, just again, don't be shy, get in there, spot 'em, obviously. One hand on the lower back, and then one a little bit on the upper back, just so that you can help them back up with that one as they pull up, and then get their hips up with that hand as they lean back. Here we get Kat jumping on, pull-ups for days, and she's in quite strong position there. Quite good positions, not much spotting going on really. Quite rushed through in those positions. Again, that's just where people are at with it. So you get to the point where you'll come back, hold it, squeeze yourself in, control it, squeeze yourself in, but not bad at all. So your other option is to set up a band, get yourself in it, get your feet in. And for this one, you're gonna have to keep that nice hollow position, legs straight, legs nice and long, okay? From there, you're gonna just use the band to help you up. So you're gonna start with your chin over, rock back, nice long legs out in front. With the band, you will struggle to do the tuck position, as you can see there. As soon as you bring your knees in, you're losing tension on the band and it's not actually really helping you. So this, again, this is only really a good one for legs out in front, like a full front lever hold. Here we've got Becky jumping on, giving the band a go with the legs out in front. Again, you can jump in and spot if they're not getting those positions, as you could see there. Just jump in and again, spot them in where they need to be. Obviously, legs out is a harder progression for this, so they might struggle to feel where they need to be. So here, you can just get your hands on the leg Again, one on the lower back, and just help them up, keep the hips up. Again, what we don't want is this kind of arched position. We want that nice hollow where there's a nice straight line all the way down the body. So yeah, if your members are struggling to get into those positions, jump in and just force them into it. Basically, see Kat's feet there coming apart. She's not sure what her legs are doing. One's in the band, one's not. Feet together, push them together. Make her feel where they need to be. You can see there, she's got the upper part quite good, and just spotting her on the legs, helping her to keep the hips up, and yeah, quite solid. Danny there, jumping on. Quite strong position, quite strong upper body, good at pull-ups and things. And you can see there's kind of no issues there, like looking quite good, just helping her to keep those hips up again. You see it with that one, as the legs come out, you will see that one quite a lot, the hips dropping. So again, just get in and just keep reinforcing. It's basically a hollow position, so that when you're lying flat on the floor and your legs are together, toes pointed away, and you're lying out nice and hollow, it's basically that position. Again, it comes back to the fundamentals, as it always does. It's rare that an exercise is just done randomly, like, oh, this is good for your core or whatever. There's always a reason for that exercise, and it is to progress you on to the next level. And then finishing off just with some strength stuff. We've done some quite high skill stuff there. The ring in and outs, the ring arches, the ice cream makers is really high skill stuff. It's tough to coach, it's tough for your athletes and your members to do, but it's fun and they'll really enjoy it. So a couple of high skill things there, just finishing off with some strength stuff now. Inverted bar rows with some banded resistance. So we've got some dumbbells set up on the floor. Band goes around the dumbbells, you get yourself underneath, bar in the rack, and then you just do rows, inverted rows on the bar. Just great for building some upper body pulling strength. And the reason of the band, it just offers some, it's just accommodating resistance, I guess. As you're at the top, it's pulling you down harder, so you're having to really fight against that pulling you back down, basically, rather than just being at the top and nice and relaxed. The more you pull, the more tension is on the band. You're going to have to fight harder for that nice top squeezed, locked in position, control down to the bottom. But again, here, don't just be performing your rows like willy-nilly. Again, try and get into that nice tight hollow position, feet together, toes pointed away, really keeping the abs locked down. So hopefully that's given you some good ideas, some things about that maybe you hadn't seen before, or that you had but just weren't sure how to implement them into a class or with a client, something, and things to look out for. Hope that's helped, guys. If it has, wicked. Feel free to like, share the video, leave a comment if you want, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.